Right guys, so the plan for today is we are going to head out for a walk shortly. When we get back, we're going to have our pre-workout meal and go and train, do a push session, try and blow out the chest and shoulders a little bit, maybe run through some posing because, you know, even the off season, still got to hit some poses, make sure everything's still all looking good. Probably not because a little bit porkier than what I was before, but we're going to hit that anyway. Then after that, hit a few more meals, do a bit of editing, do some client check-ins, get some of them done this afternoon, and then see where the day takes us. But in the meantime, I have got myself my first meal of the day. It's some eggs and egg whites with turkey bacon and English muffins. I'm usually having bagel thins, but at the moment, I don't know why, but the English muffins are just kind of hitting differently at the moment, so we're gonna go for that instead today. But gonna get this down, go have a shower, sort this mess out, and then get out for a nice walk. I'm just heading out on my walk now. I'm gonna go try and pick up some steps, get this food to digest, maybe go out for about an hour or so, grab a coffee, and then head back and get ready to go train. Something I want to talk about is people who are considering competing. Now, no one really had this chat with me when I decided that I wanted to compete, because I kind of just decided off my own back that's what I was going to do, and I booked the show without talking to anyone, and to be honest, I didn't have a coach at that time either. But, you know, here we are. So one of the things I want to say to people who have never competed before, and by the way, I'm not a fucking professional, so don't scrutinise me for this. This is just coming from a guy who has competed and is just a normal guy who hadn't spent tens of years training for this, just spent enough time. You got to ask yourself if you're ready to sacrifice a lot in your life. You got to ask yourself whether you're ready to sacrifice your social life. Maybe a little bit of family life as well for about 18 weeks. Because the reality is, you're going to be eating 5 to 6 meals a day. You need to make time to meal prep. You need to make time to go to work. And also, you need to make time to train and do cardio, being the most important thing. Now, nobody told me any of that because I didn't ask the questions. But, you know, why not take the time to use a platform to tell other people that? I kind of ruined a lot of friendships in prep because I was a little bit naive. I didn't really know how much time it was going to take up. I didn't realise how much it was going to impact my social life. In reality, I come from a friend group. They enjoy drinking. We enjoy going out drinking. We like going to the pub. We like going out and having fun. We like going out for food. We're big food people. Other than Adam, he's a big ketchup guy. The reality of the situation was, what can I do with my friends that could fit in with my training schedule, fit in with my cardio, as well as being able to allow me to eat every 2 to 3 hours and eat the meals that I need to eat and not be tempted by food that other people are eating, and also didn't involve drinking. I couldn't really think of a lot on the spot, so I was a little bit stupid and I just kind of neglected friendships. Now, I'm not saying it's a guarantee that's going to happen to you. I'm not saying you're definitely going to neglect your friendships, but there is a high possibility that will happen. You don't really think straight when you're in prep. You're very hungry, you're very fatigued. You make rash decisions. Before you go ahead and sign up for your first show, maybe just take a step back and go, is this definitely what I want to do? You know what, I highly advise everyone to compete in one show in their life. You know, if you have the physique and you have the ability to do it, I highly advise that you compete in at least one show. But just remember, it's not all about that one day that you're on stage. There's 18, 20 weeks that leads up to that. There's lost weekends, lost days. So just bear that in mind when it comes to booking your first show. It's not as easy as just getting up on stage and doing it. There's a lot of prep and a big build-up that comes into it. Again, I didn't know that when I first signed up for it. But moving on to my next point, once you've been on stage, you'll think of it as either one of two things. You'll get up there and you'll go, was that it? Is that all that was? I put in all that hard work to be on stage for 3 minutes in total and potentially not place. And you can stand up there and go, I put in all that hard work, and even if you do place, even if you do get first, second, third, fourth, fifth, you might stand up there and go, that was not worth all the work that I've just put in for it. Or you can get up there and feel the way that I felt. I got up on stage, I did my bit. Second I stepped up there, I felt fucking amazing. I felt like I was at home. I felt like it's exactly what I wanted to do, and it's exactly what I thought it would be. For 2 weeks straight, coming off stage, I was so happy. Best mood of my life. And that's the point where I decided this is exactly what I want to do. I want to spend more time competing. I want to spend more time in prep. I want to spend more time in the gym, because I realised that it makes me happy. It's a sense of achievement. I then went down, to be honest, I made a rash decision. I quit my job, went and worked in the gym, because, you know, I realised that the people that I was working with, they kind of didn't support what I had done. They didn't support what I had enjoyed. It kind of made me feel a little bit bad about it, if I'm completely honest. But I walked off stage, felt absolutely amazing. I didn't want that feeling to go away. I went back to work. That feeling died down pretty quick. Fortunately, the right opportunity came up at the right time. And now I can spend as much time as I want in the gym, focusing on my next prep. So, as I say, we're now in off season. We're focusing on growing, getting them calories in, trying to ramp it up a gear, and then go back into prep in June to compete September, October and November. So anyway, I'm going to go into this coffee shop now and grab a coffee. That's my little advice for anyone wanting to compete. Hopefully people listen and understand where I come from when I say that. All right, so that's that walk done. Went out for a nice coffee with Sheridan, had a little bit of a catch up, kind of discussed what the plan is moving forward for this year with regards to kind of what shows I want to compete in, how long prep is going to last and when it's going to start, as well as kind of trying to kind of blueprint where we go at the end of this year moving into next year. I feel like having a well laid out plan when it comes to competing, especially if you want to kind of take it quite seriously, definitely important. Having a good plan so that you can kind of see where you're going to be. Don't focus on what you're going to do this year, focus on what you're going to do over the next few years. Obviously, I'm not going to be competitive this year. I'm not planning on going in there and fucking wiping the floor with people and picking up wins left, right and centre. And, you know, like, it's kind of, this is the year where I want to gauge where I'm at with my current, or where my physique will be at the end of this year. I just want to gauge where I'm at. So we had some time to talk about that, discuss kind of what federations we're going to compete in, and then outline next year whether I'm going to stay in prep over the Christmas period, but kind of like deload a little bit, continue prepping in the new year to hit some of the early shows next year, or whatever. Again, this is a year away, so, you know, who knows what's going to happen. But I've just pulled up outside Muscle Hut in Ashford. I'm going to go in there, hit a push session, trying to focus a lot more on my actual push movement. So not necessarily like flies and raises and whatever. I want to start focusing on some more compound lifts, kind of targeting actual, like, well, flat pressing, incline pressing, overhead pressing, because I feel like it's very easy to neglect stuff like that and kind of go for stuff where you get a bit of a tighter squeeze, kind of focus on a little bit more of the strength side of it. Again, not an incredibly strong person. I'd say I look as strong as I am as strong as I look. So I don't look majorly strong, and I'm not majorly strong. I'm not one of these people that you're going to see in the gym benching like 3-4 plates, you know, like I just bench a moderate amount for my size, my muscle mass and whatever. But yeah, going to head in there now, hit a push session. Potentially Sheridan might come and join in, who we will see. But anyway, see you inside. So you'll notice this is quite a common thing that I do with my training plan. My bigger compound lifts, so like any incline presses, overhead presses, some of my flat presses, I tend to work with a heavy set with a slightly lighter load on the second set. So I build up to my heavy set, so I'll just do a couple of reps of like 1 plate, 2 plate, 3 plate. Then I'll get to my heavy set, whether that be 4. I don't know what I'm putting today on this. Probably not 4, maybe 4. We'll see. And then that I'll work in that kind of like 5 to 8 rep range. Work on that like kind of like big kind of strength aspect of it. And then I'll do my like kind of back off slightly lighter set where I'll kind of work in that 8 to 12 rep range.
but you'll see that happen on pretty much all of my like bigger lifts. Sometimes I do it on my pull days as well, sometimes on my leg days, but predominantly on my push days. That's just kind of how I like to structure it. And then when you get to the isolation movements, that's when I work in a higher rep range and kind of go for more of a squeeze. I'll see where I stand with this. I'm looking forward to once I start pushing my food up to see where my strength goes. Again, I don't focus on my strength too much. Like, I'm a big aesthetic guy. Yeah. Love aesthetics.
Alright, so push session done. Definitely feeling that one a little bit. I will now be going home and having my post-workout, which, you know, basic bitch kind of post-workout meal. It's going to be some cereal with, to be fair, I can't drink milk anymore, kind of giving myself a little bit of lactose intolerant from prep. So I will be having it with a water and whey protein, which a lot of people go, that's fucking weird having water in with cereal. But, you know, tastes shit with almond milk, and milk isn't on my plan anyway, so I'll be having that. And then I'm planning on taking the dogs out for a walk, me and the wife, so we're going to pop out. I don't know where we're going to go. It's going to be getting dark soon, so I imagine we're probably going to have to take a head torch with us. But we'll take the dogs out for a walk, and then I'll get the rest of my steps in this evening on my walk pad, and then that will be me done for the day. So I've ended up spending about 3 hours in the gym, which I don't usually do. I'm one of those guys who's like in and out, so I like to hour and a half tops for me, where I was training with someone and trying to kind of give him some advice along the way, and kind of, he was just asking me a lot of questions about competing. Kind of ended up spending a lot more time in there than I expected. Spent a little bit of time in the posing room. Yeah, so because I spent so long in there, I will be going home now and having my post-workout, and then I actually still need to squeeze in another 3 meals, and it's about 4 o'clock at the moment, so that's going to be quite a tight squeeze getting another 3 meals in. So I'll most likely condense them together into one large meal and then one slightly smaller meal before I go to bed. Not really ideal, not really optimal, but we make it work, we make it move. That'll be me done, though. I'm not going to bother carrying my camera around and showing you guys me walking the dogs. I will put up a little picture of my dogs now. They are super adorable, but I'm going to say goodbye. So have a lovely day, evening, whatever it is. Be sure to sling us a comment down below for anything that you guys might want to see training wise or whatnot, or if you have any questions that I can address in future videos. Yeah, I guess subscribe. That'll be a nice thing to do. If you click that little subscribe button, it does help me out a little bit, and then maybe leave a little like as well. Comments do actually help, so if you can leave a comment, that'll be pretty dandy. But yeah, catch you guys later.